last weekend, and the Springbok women will look to set the record straight here in the Eastern Cape as 10 of their players make a proud return to the area in which they have roots, the Eastern Cape. The weather is absolutely brilliant today in Gqeberha. After some windy and rainy conditions just yesterday, things have cleared up, and hopefully we can see both of these sides test their systems as they prepare for the Rugby World Cup, which is just around the corner. Here is the Canadian starting lineup. Bogue, one of the returning players, in a team which has seen 11 changes to its starting 15. Plenty of experience in the locks, where Boukeboom will captain in her 76th cap, the most capped Canadian woman of all time, while Letitia Royer was part of World Rugby's dream team of 2024. Buisa came off the bench last weekend and provided plenty of punch, while Senft was one of the starters which tormented the Springbok women's side. Peltier, one of the top performers, while there's a change at number 10 that sees Claire Gallagher join the ranks. In the centres, there is quality, especially in the form of Shoshana Sayumanutafa, while Madison Grant replaces last weekend's captain, Alex Tessier, in the 12 jersey. On the wing, watch out for Carissa Norston, who makes her debut replacing Fancy Bermudez. She was voted the HSBC Sevens Rookie of the Year of this very year of 2025. Great to see that the people of Gqeberha have come to support the women, so many of whom are making their return to their homelands here in the Eastern Cape. Babal Walacha is starting in the number 3 jersey again, Mika Gunter, and Sanela Siwa Charlie, who has her roots in Zweden, just like Springbok captain Sia Kolisi, starts at loose head prop. Nolasindiso boy, Cindy Boy, will earn a 52nd cap, the most capped Springbok woman of all time, and Danelle Lochner, one of the players who has overseas experience for the Harlequins, joins her in the locked position. Cesar Hele, another one of those who hails from Gqeberha, starts in the number 8 jersey, while Nadine Ruiz will shift to the number 9 and Eloise Webb at 10. This will be a very interesting combination to watch out for. Libby Janssen van Rensburg this time will start in the number 12 jersey, not in the 10, not in the 15, while Zintle Mpupa, who's played 25 times for the Springbok women and has scored 20 tries, started outside centre. Ayanda Malinga saw almost no ball last weekend against the Canadian woman, and she is dangerous when she gets a chance. Yaki Celia is the kicker for the team, while Birandre Dolf hails from Uitenhage, not too far from this very stadium. What a glorious stadium it is. Built in 2010 for the Football World Cup here in South Africa, and it needs to see more top-level rugby. Here are the benches for both sides. Lots of experience for the Canadian woman. Livia Apps, the Sevens captain. Flo Simons, who scored 2 tries at Loftus, starts in as well. Will come off the bench in 23, and Taylor McKnight could potentially make her debut. Kachulwa has been relegated to the bench for the Springbok women. Unam Tose, an option at 9, while Taylor Kinsey has dropped out of the squad for the green and gold. Plenty of support for Yaki Celia. What a superstar of the Springbok women's outfit she has become. And there is the first ever Springbok women's captain, who hails from right here in Gqeberha as well. Nomsebenzi Tsotsobe, carrying the flag for the team, just as Mandisa Williams, formerly the most capped captain of the Springbok women of all time, did last weekend. But now, of course, the most capped captain for the Springbok women is none other than Cindy Boy, who will lead her team into the Rugby World Cup this year. Smiles on the faces of the Canadian women, who were so dominant in Loftus Versfeld last weekend. However, they suffered a few niggling injuries, nothing too serious as it would turn out. This will be their final warm-up match in South Africa before they face off against the USA next, and they'll have one further match as they prepare for what they hope will be a victorious World Cup campaign. They are ranked 2nd in the world. They beat the Black Ferns just last year and drew with them this year as well, and have narrowly lost out to England in recent times. So they have high hopes of being the very best team in the world come the end of the World Cup this year, while of course the Springbok women are ranked in number 12. There is the Canadian flag, and leading a team out onto the field, Tyson Boukeboom in cap number 76. Now they really enjoy their rugby. Have a one squad philosophy where they've united the 7s and the 15 squads, and it's meant that they have a lot of talent on hand, and they don't lose out on any of that intellectual property from the 7s and the 15s game, as well as, of course, the talent of the players themselves. And now making their way onto the field here in Gqeberha, it is the Springbok women, led out by Cindy Boy. Those that have come to support are making some noise. Already sporting a shiner, Sanelisi with Charlie. And with a smile on her face, and appropriately so. So many of these players making their homecoming here to the Eastern Cape. What a day it promises to be in Gqeberha, and it starts right here with the women in green and gold. Next up are the national anthems, and then we have 80 minutes of fascinating rugby as two sides prepare themselves for the global showpiece in August.
And now, the singing of Nkosi Sikelel, A Africa. Sing it with your full heart.
Nkosi Sikelel, Africa. Malophakanyisa uphondo lwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi Sikelel, thina lusapho lwayo. Morena buluka setšhaba sa heso, o fedise dintho le matshwenyego, o se boloke setšhaba sa heso, setšhaba sa South Africa, South Africa. Het die blauw van onze hemel, uit de diepte van ons ziel, wordt ons eeuwige gebergtes, waar die krassen antwoord geeft. Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
They seek to captivate the hearts of the nation, these Springbok women, and they continue laying brick by brick as they build their legacy and the future of the game here in this country and around the world. Precious Pazani of Zimbabwe will be in the middle today. Amy Barrett-Taran and Zoe Nordier on the touchlines. Amy Barrett-Taran having been announced as the woman who will referee the opening game of the Rugby World Cup. And alongside me, I have a woman who is well-versed in watching and supporting this side, none other than Layla Arison. Layla, What do you reckon for the Springbok women today? Can they rectify the record?
Oh, Paulie, thank you so much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all the watchers today. It's going to be a big one for the Springbok women. Couple new combinations, but we've relatively kept this team the same. What is that halfback pairing between Nadine Roos and Eloise Webb going to achieve? Canada was able to make good 9 out of the 15 22-meter entries last week, and the Springbok women would be absolutely hoping that they can make sure that they shut them out a little bit more. But it's go time here in Gqeberha.
With the Canadians in their crosshairs, the Springbok women get us underway, courtesy of Libby Janse van Rensburg. Buisa can't hold on, and Schofield is under pressure. Canadians keep the ball in field, cleared away by Peltier. Good, strong charge up. Their system's so strong, Canada. So confident in their play. Berg next up, and here's Buisa, a willing carrier last weekend. She's run into the brick wall known as Sizopila Solonsi. Now spreading the ball wide. They found plenty of joy on the wings just last weekend. Have the Springbok women sorted out their defense out wide. Yaki Silia makes the tackle. Just rapid clearance from the base of the rack to start things off. Royer, World Rugby Dream Team of 2024, next to carry for the Canadians, who look to spread the ball wide again, and Springbok women are running out of numbers on the outside. The pass goes forward, the pressure enough from Ayana Malinga.
Yeah, and what a brilliant start by the Springbok women. Last week, this time, they found themselves sitting under the post having conversation about how did they let in that try. This time, trying to use every blade of grass, the Canadian women, but doing well to keep their width. Good communication between the defenders and the Springbok women too, but composure under pressure from the Canadian women, going through the hands, and that last pass from Bukavu out to Buisa on the outside, just going forward out of their hands. So it's going to be scrum time for the Springbok women. A facet of this play we know they absolutely love.
Referee Precious Pazani, World Cup bound herself, calls the scrum, and the Springbok woman looking strong early on. Eloise Webb. Oh, she's got a great pass on her, just too close to the defensive line there. Mpuba could not hold on. Scrum Canada.
And that'd be pure frustration. Zinhle Mpuba would have thought she timed her line perfectly. Unfortunately, the carry by Eloise Webb just on the drift ever so slightly, not able to let go of that ball early enough. Probably just a split screen or split second too late to get out of her hands. Zinhle Mpuba from the Eastern Cape herself, former cricket player for Border, then decided to come and play some rugby. And we're really grateful she did.
Our story of the Springbok women, multi-talented, multifaceted. Tell me, Leila, what do you make of the 9-10 combination here for the Springbok women, and what do you think the best combination would be in your learned opinion?
Yeah, well, these two at the moment, Nadine Roos, Eloise Webb, they know and they understand each other really, really well. They've played at sevens level, and they've got a really good understanding. We sort of said suddenly see where Charlie just walking out with the shiner, so immediately getting some attention to her eyes. A lot of swelling happening around her eyes at the moment. But in terms of that halfback pairing, Libby Janse van Rensburg has a really great understanding at 10. She knows where to put the ball. Probably Taylor Kinsey's, unable to get the ball out quick enough for them to get any real momentum on that gain line. I do, however, still feel, though, that Taylor Kinsey, with all of her experience alongside Libby Janse van Rensburg, have a really good understanding, and they know how to control the game and know how to keep each other calm. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this halfback pairing goes on. This halfback pairing is a very attacking halfback pairing.
Justine Peltier, in her 35th cap, feeds the scrum for Canada. There's a gaping hole in the defensive line of the Springbok women, but Canada cannot capitalize. Backwards the call, so play on. And Canada have numbers out to the left. Penalty to the visiting team.
And that'll be frustration for the Springbok women. Had a chat with Coach Swayze de Bruin just before the game, and he said the breakdown areas where they suffered tremendously last week wouldn't want to concede as many penalties as they did. 15 penalties conceded last week, and 8 of those being breakdown penalties. So definitely an area of the game they'll try and clean up. Sizopila Silonsi going ever so slightly behind. That contact with the penalty came before that.
What are we looking at? Sorry, Christy, what are we looking at?
Yeah, we're looking for possible head contact. I'm going to show you the,
okay, let me come to the screen.
The evidence.
Let me come to the screen.
Yeah, well, I said it was ever so slightly high. TMO decided it was straight up high head-on-head contact.
So she was offside? Yeah. I didn't see anything massive about it. Yeah. Okay, Christy, I'm at the screen.
So you see Sizopila Silonsi trying to get off the line, doesn't drop her body height early enough, also playing the 9 in that meter area. So there's
upright.
2 penalties conceded.
Oh,
TMO Christy de Perea.
Okay, will do.
And had to drop her height, Sizopila Silonsi.
Yeah, I don't see high force.
I'm just waiting for the real speed.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't see high force. I'm happy to stay with penalty only. Yep. So, Christy, I'm going to stay penalty only. I don't see a high level of force. Both players were not coming in at speed, so I'm just going to go penalty, okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Precious.
thank you. Back to me. I've got a decision.
Okay.
Okay. So it's going to stay penalty only, not a high level of danger.
Our All-African refereeing team, having made a decision, had to run over to the big screen.
For the penalty, I've given it. Yeah.
Yes, I had to come back. Referee Precious Pasani deciding that it's
Stays
low
just a
level of
penalty, not a
danger.
high level of danger. Yeah. So you had kicked for touch, which was the same penalty. Yeah. It's fine.
And so you had a look at the level of force that Sizopila Silonsi went into the tackle with, and Precious Pasani realizing and just saying that there's no high level of force either.
Let's do it again, ladies. Remember what we spoke about peeling off? Yeah, let's make sure we've got one receiver, please. Yeah.
In a forgiving mood today, Precious Pasani.
Just wait for it to come from the top first. Thank you. Let's go again. Sorry? Yes, thank you.
Gillian Berg, Gloucester Hartbury. Rugby Union and a Rugby League player feeds the line out, and that rolling ball looking dangerous.
Anything at me comes up by white. For me too.
Falls down under its own power, so no penalty advantage to Canada. Danielle Lochner making a nuisance of herself, and Peltier gets it away. Buisa, always keen to run. Hunted down that time by Babalwa Lacha. Charlie making a big hit in the first channel. Wonderful feet shown from Chrissy Skirfield. If they can recycle here, the Canadians have numbers out to the left galore. Gallagher sends it wide quickly. Stepping outside is Madison Grant. Shifting across in defense, but can they get there in time? Crucial tackle on Shell. Not too far to travel now for the Maple Leaves. Peltier gets it away. Big strong run from Peckin. Short of the line. Charlie stops them. They're over now. And the Canadian women open the scoring.
Yeah, well, they're just so good when they get into the 22, aren't they? Try scorer Brittany Castle of the Canadian women. They get into shape really, really early on, and there was numbers galore out onto the left-hand side for the Canadians. It's the hold-off. It's the step on the outside that creates the numbers overlap. Julia Schell, double tackle on her. Far too many players involved in that ruck, so not enough space out width. Defenders not spreading. Short initially, and then everyone ruck watching. Brittany Kissel taking her opportunity.
First international try for Castle. Shell converts the try, 7 points on the board for Canada, and they are off to a good start, just as they were in Tswana 7 days ago.
Always looking like they've got more numbers than the Springbok women on feet at the moment. Too many ruck watchers, not enough defenders in sight, and Brittany Castle sticks her hand up and gets the first for the Canadian women.
45 caps without a try, and then you just pick it up and put it down over the line. Simple as that.
Sometimes rugby is a simple game, Paul Stubbs.
7-0 to the Canadian women, who will be very happy with their preparations thus far in South Africa, with their ambitions of lifting the World Cup for the very first time. Libby Janse van Rensburg hangs this one up centrally. None of the Canadian women getting underneath the ball. Big hit from Hele. The Canadian women recycle the ball, and they are aggressive at ruck time, which facilitates the quick clearance speed which they have, which is causing all of those mottled holes in the defense of the Springbok women's line. Dummy from Sayumanu Tafa. Meters one, Janse van Rensburg cannot get hands on ball. Ruck time for the Canadian woman right now is less than a second. Quickly over the top from Peltier, recognizing some space, but Andre Dolph chases back.
No advantage. Number 9, offside.
Oh, Nadine Roos just caught offside at that breakdown, and
Thank you.
you speak about it, it's the quick breakdown percentage that they're able to create. Not enough slowing down a ball from the Springbok women. Have to get in, try and make the breakdown messy, because if you give Justine Peltier just ball to be able to play with, the shape that the Canadian women get into is so quick.
Failing to find touch on that occasion.
Stop.
So first real error from the Canadian woman. Celia goes long, and Canada will start their counter-attack from within their own half. But they are keen to run it at the Springbok women all day long. Buisa on the outside. She will not get around Ayana Malinga. Peltier there to clear. She finds Peckin. Peltier again. Rapid recycling from the Canadian woman, and Demachant. Peltier moves it out to the left. The Springbok woman running out of numbers yet again. And running through the tackle was Royer. The debutante, Carissa Norston. Almost back up to the Springbok women's 22. Oh, what a pass that was to Bukaboom. The captain sets the rack. Peltier, Gallagher, Senft. Exhausting for the defense of the Springbok women to reset again and again. Oh, what a take that is from Sayumanu Tafa. But the numbers there to make the tackles for the Springbok women. Dolph on the outside. The Canadian woman changed direction again through Peckin. Peltier ready to clear. Sniping. Oh, great tackle from Solonsi. Spotted the danger. Peltier to Buisa. Delays a pass to the last second. Soft hands from the Canadian woman, and they have the overlap on the outside. Sayumanu Tafa sends the forward pass to Norston.
It was almost a dream debut for Carissa Norston.
Good pass there.
Yeah, the Springbok women at the moment just not able to get their numbers right. So overstacking or overfolding rather on the one side rather than sending the numbers out. Too many players trying to get involved at breakdown time. Luckily for the Springbok women, that ball going forward out of the hands of Sayumanu Tafa.
Okay. So stay square, please, and push straight, yeah? Yeah. Take the hit and stay straight.
Just a couple of small building blocks that the Canadian women are able to set into place in their attacking motion. Springbok women look like they're just playing catch-up every single time in those defensive sets.
Crouch. Bind. Stay square, please. Set. No. Collapse.
Didn't have to work too hard for that
Collapse.
scrum penalty.
Hooker and loose and tighted.
Olivia Demachant going down up against Sanalisiwe Charlie, coming into the game battered and bruised.
Libianca from Rensburg, fine stats.
My mark,
Charlie
half a
just doing really, really well to get under
Open up.
Olivia de Marchand, going straight down, winning the hit. It's just the load that
Open
she's
up
already
some more
won.
white.
Didn't even get a positive
White.
hit in.
Half a meter from the mark, please. Open up wide. Open. No contest. Plan.
Gunter
Stay.
feeds the line out and feeds it well to Katha Jacobs. The Springbok women have a chance to attack. Oh my goodness. Pierandre
Good
Dolf
help.
upended as she received the ball from a tackle from Chrissy Skurfield.
Stay there.
Roos. Good quick ruck clearance from the Springbok women as well. Solonsi with a typical barnstorming run. Eloise Webb looking to be the facilitator today, caught up in the tackle. The Canadian women's defense just as thrashing as their attack.
No, leave it wide.
Lochner sets the rack.
no,
Roos looking
stay.
for a clean ball. And a penalty advantage being played to the Springbok women. Roos hangs one over the top. No chase on that.
5 offside.
And Letitia Royer just being called offside at that breakdown, making
Get out,
contact with Nadine
please.
Roos. That's why she put her hands up, just asking
Your mark.
referee Precious Pisani eventually going to boot. But the first set of attacking play that we're seeing from the Springbok women looking like they are getting better speed on the ball than they did last week. Ball's just got to get out of the hands quicker. Did really well to try and get on both sides of the field, trying to use the width. That's where the penalty comes from against Letitia Royer. Had a great game last week, did Royer. That time just getting it wrong.
Stay 10, please.
Another quality line out from the Springbok women. Eloise Webb as Libby Janssen van Rensburg running to the inside. Another failed set move from the Springbok women.
Knock one.
And it's been a stuttering
first by Green.
and spluttering start.
And it is just breaking the rhythm that the Springbok women are trying to build in this game. You can just see the frustration from Swys de Bruin, realizing that it was absolutely on for Libby Janssen van Rensburg
Yeah,
on the
sure.
inside.
Do you guys want to step across?
Just got to get the timing of the run right when you've got those opportunities. The Springbok women
Let's hold our weight,
was
please.
able
Let's
to
hold our
make
weight.
use of their 22-meter entries last
Work
week.
hard on
Only
things,
2
Priya.
out of those 7
Let's hold your weight,
injuries
please.
they were able to get points from. So I would have felt there's a huge opportunity
Crouch.
lost in that movement.
Back. Set.
Scrum feed from Peltier. This Canadian scrum holding up well this time. On the outside, Skurfield gets away from the attentions of Malinga, but not of Asesa Hele.
Backwards.
Diving onto the ball, Demarchand.
Ball is out.
Chaos at the breakdown, and Peltier fires back. Desperation
Stop,
clearance
stop.
comes from
No,
Grant.
6.
Pierandre Dolf. Dolf, who loves to run, takes them on. What a crucial tackle that was. What an exciting player Dolf is, and what an introduction to the Springbok women's squad after that previous World Cup in New Zealand.
Tackle,
She's
round,
played
please.
every single test match since then. Roos to Webb. Tries to get a grabber through.
Saw Eloise Webb
First
just
side green.
signaling,
then
marshalling
back
to Ayanda Malinga. She was looking to go behind the likes of Julia Schall. Julia Schall very, very flat-footed in the center of the field, so it had shown that she was going to go to the left, but that
Time out,
time
let's go, ladies.
execution just not great.
Yeah.
If you're going to look to try and get it to the back of the field, rather just look for the chip over the top and then chase the ball yourself
off.
than try and put it on the boot, especially with the high line press that the Canadian women do have. Get into the faces, taking time off of the ball from Eloise Webb, and that time just caught.
Now the Springbok women can scarcely afford to be without Asesa Hele in the months to come. One of the most prominent players in the Springbok women's squad. But Leila, in order to slow down the attack of this Canadian women's side, they could attack at the breakdown, or they could make some dominant tackles. Any other way that they could bring that under control?
Yeah, well, you got to go back to what your defensive systems are, right? So if you're going to look, if you're giving a high line press and you're going to try and get into the face of the Canadian women, you're going to have to make your tackles. So it's going to be a combination of trying to get all of the different defensive systems correct in that area. Springbok women want to get into the faces, but then they're missing their first-time tackles. Only way you're going to put it, you're going to get it is if you're going to get Justine Pelletier as well as Claire Gallagher under pressure. But look at that. I mean, beautiful skies, clear skies, absolutely perfect conditions to play rugby in. What more would you want than to be able to play in an incredible stadium like the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium?
Time back on.
I would love to be staying for the whole day tomorrow. 24 degrees,
Make
promised.
sure your shoulders are out. Make sure
Could
your
get some
shoulders are
time
out.
on the beach.
Have a chat with your bosses, Paul Subs.
Crouch. 5. Set. Out.
Peltier has been facilitating the quick play of the Canadian woman thus far. Feeds it to Shell. Shell sends it over the top. Dolph getting across the cover. She's going to have plenty. Oh, Pierre-Andre Dolph devastates the first defender.
Entry. And no clear release as well. From where you are.
Yeah, breakdown penalties now starting to pile up for the Canadian women. Trying to slow down ball, realizing the threat that Nadine Ruiz is at 9 and how quick she is able to get ball.
Captain.
Olivia Antoinette, which is going through her work today,
Discipline,
making
please.
sure that she
Discipline. We've got too many
executes.
penalties from you guys from the breakdown.
Look at that
Talk to the
step.
goal.
1, 2, goodbye, bye-bye. Behind
Get your
Dolph.
meter, South Africa. Get your meter.
Last time the Springboks played here, she was a ball carrier for the side. This time, stepping people in boxes.
Lacha in the midfield, making the hard yards. Ruiz with numbers out to the left, but not particularly well organized. Feeds.
Stay.
Clean ruck
Use
ball,
it
but
now.
not quick ruck ball for the Springbok women. Pengralang! Babalwa Lacha drops the shoulder and makes some meters. Webb under pressure. Another charge down from the Springbok woman. It's been hacked through. Dolph is going to have to scramble back to get this. She has support from Salir. It's been hacked through again and out into touch off the boot of Shoshana Seyamanutapa.
Sorry, time off.
Yeah, Eloise Webb
Time off.
just under so much pressure, but she's not giving herself time. So what she's doing is she's lining up. She's way too linearly close to where the ruck is. Had she stand deeper, she'd have more
Okay.
time. She'll give herself more time.
Sorry.
But because she finds
TMO
herself
check.
so close to where the ruck area is, it makes
Christy,
it so
coming
easy
to
for
you.
the defenders to read.
Said we're looking at possible foul play. Shoulder to head.
What a wonderful city it is.
White.
Quebec.
White.
Coming to the screen.
Bathed in sunshine today after some sideways rain yesterday. When it gets windy and cold, it gets windy and cold.
Now there's TMO check for shoulder to head contact against
Versus we are
Canada.
looking at the actions of 6 white.
6 white. Okay. I'm at the screen now.
Buisa, the guilty party at the moment.
Yeah.
The more TMO checks there are, the more the fitness of our referees will be tested.
Yeah.
I can't hear the director. I'm trying.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what he's looking for. Upright in the tackle.
So there is head
Babawa
contact.
Lacha wins
Shoulder
that
to head.
contact, but
And then she's
going
upright.
into it illegally.
For me, it meets yellow card threshold. Yeah. I'm going to send it back to the bunker. The first one, yeah. Okay, Christy, back to me. I've got a decision. So we do have head contact, shoulder to head. She's upright and it meets yellow card threshold. We're going to send it off to the bunker.
Yes, agree.
Thank you. Number?
Oh, that's why it's a
you said
team,
number
right?
6, yes?
But is just still 5 meters from the halfway line on the green side.
Timo Chrissy Dupré
Off
calling
field.
it, and Pamphonette Buisa is going to get a yellow, and it's going to be reviewed off field.
Can I have the mark again, Christy?
She had a
That side. Yeah, by you, Amy. Yeah, by you. Yeah, by you. Yes, where you are, Amy.
Okay, thank you.
She had a great game coming off of the bench last week, Pamphonette Buisa. This time just getting it wrong, not getting the correct body height.
Okay, we're here. Okay. Turn back on. High tackle.
And the people of Quebec are happy to see the Springbok women in action. Wonderful to see so many people having made their way out to support the women in green and gold today. Janse van Rensburg slices that one off the side of the boot. All the same, an attacking lineup for the Springbok women. 15 against 14 until the return, potential return of Buisa, as that yellow card is under review.
Open up white, one. Open up white. I'm going to tell you the last time, I just need you half a meter, okay? Take a step here, thank you. No, don't close it, open up. Yes, thank you.
Brittany Castle
I can
having
see
been
that
warned,
happening.
the Canadian woman with a wonderful contest,
Okay.
but the Springbok women hold on to possession. Eloise Webb, she's been under pressure every single time
10
with
white,
that rush defense
offside.
of the Canadian
There's a knock
woman.
there.
Nadine Roos looking to up the tempo.
Tackle, roll. Stay.
Brought down, slow ball from Mpupa to Lacha. Just about making her way back to the gain line. Here's Roos. Taking the ball at a standing start there, Cindy Boy. Roos away to Charlie. Canadian woman stifling the space that the Springbok women have to work with. Again, Eloise Webb having to
No, I give it.
rethink. Step
Roll
off the
with the
right
feet.
boot and taken into contact herself. Nadine Roos rocked off her feet and the Canadian woman steal it away at
Contest is
breakdown time. Wonderful play from Gallagher, shifting from right to left, and now the Canadian woman straight onto the front foot, asking questions of this Springbok women's defense. The debutante brought to deck, Carissa
Take
Norton.
8.
Peltier feeds a wide open center field for the Canadian
No,
woman.
it's 3,
Still
stop.
a woman down. The cross kick goes as far as Skurfield, who comes in field to collect. Malinga with a dominant hit. Peltier there to clear the ball oh so quickly yet again, always putting pressure on the Springbok woman. What a take on the full from Birandre Dolf. And a great tackle this time from Chrissy Skurfield.
Use it.
Getting revenge for that vicious sidestep moments ago from the number 15. Roos commits the first defender. Feeds it to Eloise Webb. But the defense of the Canadian woman just as aggressive as their attack.
Stay.
High standards
nine.
set by their coach Kevin Rouet. Painfully slow ball for the Springbok women, and they'll play a blindside which has no gaps on offer. Kata Jacobs brought to ground.
First player.
Canadian woman
Yeah,
over the ball
yeah,
with
you
no
got it.
contest.
Release the green.
And they turn it over
Release green.
far too easily. Peltier feeds it out to Shell, standing wide. Simon Utafa moves it along to Grant. Under pressure from the drift defense of the Springbok woman, Carissa Norton is swallowed up again by Springbok tackles. Driving over the top of the ball, the Springbok women, they get a turnover of their own. And Pupa crashes into the defense. Heller protects for Roos to clear. Away to Lacha, here's Solonsi. With the numerical advantage, they surely must look to take advantage and get their first score on the board here halfway through the first half. But they are struggling to break that gain line, the
Tackle
Springbok
complete.
women.
Release, please.
Yeah, phase after phase, but not being able to make much meterage, the Springbok women. Just looks like the Nalochner that's just getting some treatment, and that's definitely not a player that the Springbok women want to lose. Off field bunker review, just come back, and the yellow card will
So
remain a yellow
remain
card.
Yellow card. Tackle was passive. No high degree of danger. Yeah. So yellow card is going to stay yellow card.
Okay.
Yeah, tackle was passive and there wasn't a high degree of danger. Yes, yes.
Do we have advantage over there, or were you just saying balls out?
I was saying balls
So the
out.
Springbok women, at the moment, what
So
they're
just
trying
talk
to
the
do
girls.
is the
If they
reason
have it they're on the ball, they
Eloise
should
Webb
use it.
is under so
They shouldn't
much
wait for me to
pressure
give a
because
penalty.
of the
Play
inside
it.
press of
If I
the
then
first
see that
three
they're holding
defenders
on,
of the
then I'll
Canadian
give it
women,
to you.
getting into her face and then allowing the
Yes, yes.
space on the outside. So the defenders are hanging back because they know that the Springbok women are going to struggle to try and get the ball out into the width. So they're happy to give them the width on the outside, pushing with that inside defender. So whether or not Libby Janssen van Rensburg and Eloise Webb were actually going to switch roles and have Janssen van Rensburg come in as the first receiver and play off of her. Could be an option. But now Lochner down, just getting some treatment at the moment. She's been everywhere. She's a hard runner, willing runner for the Springbok women. Just caught under the mess of a breakdown.
The Springbok women's side pride themselves on their physicality. They could afford to make some more meters up close to the rack and commit those defenders that are so stifling them with that rush line.
Yeah, last week only making 6.5 meters per ball carry.
So, there's another match on today. The build-up starts at 4 for the Springboks, taking Italy in the second test of the Castle Lager incoming series right here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Gqeberha. But for now, it's the Springbok women who are raising the curtain on today's play in the Eastern Cape. A wonderful homecoming, a wonderful return to this absolutely glorious stadium in a glorious part of the world. Yaki Salia drives it into touch, an impressive kick as well.
Stay here.
Sia Khaleesi always there to support the Springbok women's side. Gives some rousing pre-match speeches as well. Mika Gunter delays the feed to the line out. Brilliantly done by the Springbok woman. Cindy Boy takes it. And that's a very effective set from the Canadian woman, nullifying the opportunity for the rolling maul. Oh my goodness, it's come spitting out the back of the hand of Mika Gunter. Untidy from the Springbok woman, squandering a chance in pretty much their first visit to the Canadian women's red zone. Birandre Dolf, who's been impressive. Here's Malinga. First real chance to run in either of the test matches from last weekend to this. Eloise Webb. Flat ball that to Cindy Boy, her captain. Quick ball needed now for Roos. Canadian women's defense spread across the field. Charlie punching holes.
Get outside, no!
Roos. Webb. Another advantage to the Springbok women. Finding a period of dominance in possession and territory.
It's okay. Number 5. Offside. Yeah.
And that one again going against Letitia Royer at breakdown time. One of those 3 defenders that they're using to get into the face of the Springbok women. Had opportunity, did well to disrupt the previous maul, did Canada, and now another opportunity for the Springbok women on the 5.
Captain, too many penalties against
Got to
you.
hit the right
Can
channels, the
never
Springbok
change
women.
Yeah.
And Letitia Royer, you can just see over jumping the gun, trying to pull the trigger early.
Just open up. Get your meter, SA, get your meter.
6 penalties conceded already within the first 23 minutes of the game, so that'll be troubling for the Canadian management.
Gunter feeds the line out. Surely they'll be eager to set the rolling maul again here, and they do keep their feet. And now the Springbok women, they set well, but they're out of numbers early on. They've reloaded. Another penalty advantage. Roos takes her time, clears to Webb.
Knock on. Okay. So we had one here, number 3. Yes.
I think it's
5
trouble
and 3.
for the Canadians.
Number 5, side entry. Number 3, collapse. Number 3, collapse, yes. Number 3, please.
No, that's going to go against Olivia Demarchand.
And which other one? Amy offside?
Or they're going to go down to 13. Almost thought Precious Pazani was going to give both.
Over there for side entry, here for collapse, and over there for offside. Where? 1, 2, and 3 over there. Okay. Scrum, ladies.
Yeah, just having a conversation around which penalty they want to take. They had 3 advantages in that phase of play, opting to go for the right-hand scrum. Full width of the field to play with. And it's 15.
Sorry?
15 v 13 at the moment.
No, not yet. I'm not sure.
Early set scrum, rather rolling maul that they set.
Captain, talk to 5. She's already had 3 against her.
There was the side entry coming.
Discipline. The other one was for side entry.
Collapsing of that rolling maul.
So by calling the scrum, the Springbok women forcing the Canadians to make another change and to bring a tight head prop onto the field in the form of Rory Wood.
Makia.
Yeah, Had to sacrifice a player, sacrifice Chrissy Skirfield out on the wing.
The time to score is right now, surely, for the Springbok women, 15 on 13.
Stay 9.
The scrum, their dominant set piece. Now Hele picking up. Well tackled there by Pekin. Fed away to Lochner.
Take a step, take a step.
Can they capitalize on this opportunity? Charlie into brick walls.
Stay on.
Roos not looking for quick ball, but consistent ball. Hele over the line. Can she get it down? No is the answer.
Held up.
Yeah, and patience required from the Springbok women. Just trying to overplay their hand and
Hold on, please. Held up.
what is about 4 meters of width.
Goal line.
So goal line dropout for the Canadians.
Let's
They had
go.
a full field to play with. They've got the numbers on the outside.
Let's go, ladies.
And it becomes the call from the outside. The call's got to come from Ayanda Malinga spotting the space. But if the call comes, someone's got to listen. And that'll be frustration all round.
Let's use it now. Behind the kicker, please. Use it.
Well, this time the call came from inside the house. The house of the scrum, which did not turn out to be profitable for the Springbok women, and Birandre Dolf takes it again, ready to take on that defensive line. Just outside the 22-meter line of the Canadian women, still with a 2-woman advantage. Eloise Webb takes it to the line. Roos, as they wrap around to the right, do not have the extra numbers on the outside, but what can they do with the space they have? Solonsi puts another body on the ground. And now, with the whole left-hand side of the field to work with, and Ayanda Malinga, the dangerous winger waiting on the outside. Can the Springbok women find a way to get the ball to their wings? Libianca van Rensburg sent it to Jacobs. Here's Malinga. The drift defense in her face as she received it. Sayo Manutafa tries for the turnover. No such luck. Eloise Webb, forward pass to Charlie.
Oh, suddenly see what Charlie had the right idea, got onto the outside shoulder. But just again, holding on to the ball too long that time. Eloise Webb overrunning that line.
Struggling to manufacture depth in the back line, Leila, right now, the Springbok women, and as a result, it's only the forwards that are making any meaningful progress.
Yeah, absolutely, because of the overrunning, because of the fact that they're standing so close and so flat to the gain line, they're not allowing themselves the depth. Pamphlet Buisa back onto the field, so 15v14. Suddenly see what Charlie, the warrior that she is, staying on the field.
I mean, you could swear she was in a boxing match last night.
No idea what she was up to last night. Springbok women do really, really well when they've got numbers and movement happening around the back. We saw the pass from Eloise Webb to Libianca van Rensburg, how they were able to create something.
A soldier for the Springbok women, Saneli Siwe Charlie, went to Nzondelelo High in Zwide. As part of the team that played Canada in 2023. It's played 5-1-5 against South Africa for the Canadian women. What a venue for this test match. Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Strong set from the Canadian woman at scrum time. Buisa having returned to the field. Birandre Dolf is having to cover so much ground to chase down these kicks. Wonderful chase there from Carissa Norston. A brilliant kick to touch from the Canadian woman.
And the difference at the moment between the Canadian women and the Springbok women is the amount of pressure that they're putting the kickers under. Not enough players and faces of the Canadian women and allowing Claire Gallagher so much time on ball to make a decision. And if you've got the pace of Carissa Norton on the outside, you've got options galore.
What a player to bring into your setup, Carissa Norton, the HSBC Sevens Rookie of the Year. That one squad philosophy paying off for Canada.
She was part of the discussions for the HSBC Sevens Dream Team too. That's how good of a season she had on the field this year.
Of course, a result from earlier this morning. New Zealand women looking dominant against Australia, and guess who the Springbok women will be playing next in their final warm-up matches for the Rugby World Cup? None other than the Black Ferns.
Yeah, it's all about building the squad, getting them game fit, game ready for the quality of rugby they're going to be playing on the 22nd of August when the Women's Rugby World Cup starts, both of these sides.
Mika Gunter, great feed to the line out for Danelle Lochner. Ross gets it away and playing it right in front of the faces of those Canadian woman defenders, the Springbok woman. Eloise Webb this time slings it wide to find Dolph, who has just enough space to get that kick away. Norston's going to field this and take on Malinga. Malinga sticks to the task and makes her tackle. Wonderful interplay from the Canadian woman, keeping cool heads under pressure, and they send the ball downfield to relieve that pressure on themselves. Just as the Springbok women are flooding through on them, Yaki Salir gets a clean connection, does not find touch though, and Shell will initiate the counter-attack. Sends it to Gallagher. Gallagher with that educated boot sends one over the top. Chasing back is Jacobs. Looks to beat the first defender, very well done from the Springbok women's flanker. Roars away that rush defense of Canada, putting the Springbok woman under so much pressure, but its Canadian woman has gone down. It may well be the replacement Rory Wood. And she looks to be in some serious discomfort.
Yeah, we spoke about it last week. The difficulties around when players go down in contact, and when they do go down on the field, is that within the next couple of weeks they'll be leaving and the squad will be flying to England, and you want to be on that flight. Fortunately, Rory Wood is not happy getting off the line, lining up, and then it was just the step back onto the inside off of that left, rather off of her right leg, that just isn't happy. Heavily strapped right knee too for Rory Wood, and under so much in so much pain at the moment.
That knee already strapped up coming into this match. You've got to worry for what's gone on there, and she really looks like she's hurting. This coaching team for the Canadian woman has done great things. Kevin Roux at the head of it on the left of your screen. He has a record of 22 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, and he's seen the Canadian woman up to number 2 in the world. They've defeated the Black Ferns just last year, drew with them this year, and they won the Pac-4 last year and finished in second this time around. Leila, what do you fancy of their chances to win the World Cup?
Yeah, but look, they've had a brilliant build of momentum. They've played the right sides. They've been positive. They've had positive outcomes in the Pac-4 series, and that draw against the Black Ferns showed the quality that they have. And you can just see on the face of Rory Wood, she knows exactly what that is.
Oh, you got a feel for her. You can see not just the pain of the injury, but also the pain of what is to come. And here are the Springbok fans making their way to the stadium for the second half of this game, but of course also for the Springboks coming up later on today. Build-up starts at 4 for the second of 2 test matches against Italy here in Gqeberha on the Castle Lager incoming series. Plenty of green and gold in the stadium right now. Good support for the Springbok women, and that's a positive sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely want more people to come in and stop filling the stands, but the growth that the women's game has had in the country up until this point, absolutely brilliant. And the fact that this match at the moment is a lot closer than I think some of the people would have thought, having a look at what happened in the first half of last week, positive signs, and there's only growth. It was great to see the fans come out and enjoy. Sasha, can I please have your shirt?
Get your requests in early, because his will be one of the most desired. Sasha Feinberg and Gomez Zulu starting on the bench for the Springboks today. Mani Libok back at 10. Options galore for the Springbok men, whereas the Springbok women, of course, are looking to build a squad such as the men have, and they've gone well so far. Of course, coming up against the world's second best team, this might not be the litmus test that some Springbok fans who have not watched so much of the women's game would be expecting against Canada, but the Springbok women are on a long path to reach the heights that the Canadian women have reached in the game.
Absolutely. You want to get within that top 10 at the moment, sitting at 12th, the Springbok women. So that would be the first goal, is to get inside the top 10 and then slowly start finding their way and climbing their way to the top. Rory Wood making her way off of the park on a buggy, and that's the last thing you want to see, especially if you put your hand up for that Rugby World Cup selection.
The lonely reality of injury. You leave your team to recover on your own. You can only hope that she'll be ready for the World Cup when it comes around, but it looks quite serious. And we wish her the very best as she makes her way from the field. Rory Wood earning just her 5th cap for the Canadian woman, representative of Ealing Trailfinders, only onto the field to replace the yellow-carded Olivia Demarchant, who was announced as part of the starting lineup, replacing Delika Menon, who has 61 caps. Demarchant has 58 caps, and that kind of experience is what you need to ride to the top of the game.
But there's someone who has to go out. Someone has to go out.
Debutante onto the field, Taylor McKnight.
Yeah, so what would happen is, on the score sheet you would have, or rather on the team sheet, you would have written what positions your hookers, your loose heads can play, and if you have a hooker that can play both loose head and tight head, you have to make that known on the sheet. Hence why Gillian Bogue will be making her way onto the tight head position, with the likes of Olivia Demarchant off of the field. But this all has to be indicated on the team match sheet. Would have been under a lot of pressure had they not had another tight head.
Well, Leila, I would make sure that the coach never wrote my name down as a potential tight head prop.
Absolutely. You and me both. Pamphonette Buisa also making her way off of the park because they have to sacrifice a player.
Yeah, but we still have to have 8 in the scrum. Yeah, let's go, let's go.
Well, Buisa's head will be spinning, shuttling on and off the field. She got a yellow card. She came back on, and now she's back off again.
Yeah, go in still.
Only make her way back onto the park once Olivia Demarchant makes her way back up.
Looks like uncontested scrums. Okay, so the Canadian women break to the left. Big strong tackle from Mpupa. Good offload to Shell. And look at that for managing the contact from the youngster Norston. Hasn't had much space to work with, the debutant winger. Oh, Peltier under pressure.
No knock, went backwards first. Sorry, touched by me.
Oh, they'll get another scrum. And an uncontested scrum, as you mentioned, Paul Stubbs. Playing that ball against the likes of, or against the referee, Precious Pazani.
Crouch! Bind! Bind!
Last time Canada scored was
Let's go 9!
in the 5th minute. 10 minutes left in this first half.
Short ball to a Shoshana Seimanutapa. Peltier gets it away. The Canadian woman in the strike zone again, having thwarted attack after attack from the Springbok woman. Can they make the most of their entry here? Gabrielle Senft getting past the first defender, takes them up to the 5-meter line. Penalty Canada.
And you'll almost feel it's going to be criminal if the Canadian women score with only 13 players against 15.
Here is try scorer for Canada. Castle runs it straight into the Springbok woman defenders, sets the ruck, and the Canadian women go again, looking to recycle that ball rapidly as they have been doing. That was an awfully flat pass from Peltier. They go again through Castle. A replacement, Taylor McKnight.
Okay, advantage green 6.
Into the contact, looks like another advantage for the Canadian woman. Bukaboom, the captain, next up.
Offside green 6 and 8. Not in the 5.
It looks like Letitia Royer that's on the ground crutching
Sorry.
at her shoulder. She's receiving some treatment too within the area play. Springbok women in these tight areas are going to have to get to their feet a lot quicker than they are at the moment. They're making their hits, they're staying down and rolling. However, they've got to get up. It's the reaction, the get back into the game speed that they have to focus on, the Springbok women, and at the moment just really slow at the bottom of those racks.
Work hard on the breakdowns, yeah?
Oh, what a player she is, Royer. One of 3 members of the Canadian squad that was part of the World Rugby Dream Team of 2024. Plays her rugby for Romagnac.
Her versus Aseza Hele. And unfortunately, Aseza Hele, the brick wall that she is, could just be a stinger for Letitia Royer on that hit, though. And that's one of the most painful feelings in the world, having a sting in your shoulder. You physically lose all control over that arm. Doesn't look like she's very happy at the moment. Another one that's going to be leaving the field for Canada.
Wow. And who would want to be a rugby coach? You make your team plans, and then your players start dropping like flies just before the global showpiece for which you've been preparing for oh so long.
The amount of injuries that have happened for Canada within the last 2 weeks will be so concerning for head coach Kevin Kevin Royer.
Onto the field, Courtney O'Donnell plays for a very Canadian sounding team, the Red Deer Titans. And the Titan goes running into the Springbok women's defense. Good meters made, they're right on the brink of it already with that first carry, and they go again. And now diving for the line, Gillian Bogue, stopped just short by the Springbok women. The recycle does not come from the Canadian woman. A penalty to South Africa. They defend their line, and they continue to trail by just the 7 points.
On the line first. On my side, it looks short, but ahead.
Yeah, well, try time.
Well, oh my goodness. A try to Canada, in fact. And it is Gillian Bogue who gets over the line.
All you need is the tip of that ball to touch any part of that white line. Gillian Bogue did enough. Stopped short initially, allowed to reach, and in the reach gets the ball to touch the line, and that call would have come from touch. Amy Barrett-Tron said in that second movement, in the reach, getting the ball over.
Shell. The radar is working for the number 15 for the Canadian woman. An extra 2 points, and Canada lead 14-0.
It's such a soft try by the Springbok women. 2 players up, should never be allowing points to go up against them. Short initially, gets the reach. Gillian Bogue with the celebration. And it took more than 26 minutes after their first score to get their second. And the Springbok women will be disappointed with all of the opportunity that they had in that first half.
Libianca van Rensburg sends a flat one this time. The bouncing ball taken in by Senft. What a player she is, Senft. So effective up in Loftus-Versfeld, and the few touches she's had here in Gqeberha today have been effective as well. Strong hit coming from Helen Lacha again. That combination for the Springbok woman, knocking the Canadian woman backwards. Still down to the 14 women are Canada. And the kick goes long from Gallagher. Libianca van Rensburg having to block out the sun. Pierre-Andre Dolf takes it in. Dolf, always keen to run. Brought down by Kessel. Roos with quick ball for Eloise Webb, recognizes an opportunity to thread the needle towards the touchline. Well marshaled by Gallagher. And the charge down comes. Tracking back to pick this one up is Clarissa Norston. Great pass away under pressure. She's having a wonderful debut. Taken in by Janse van Rensburg with the sun shining into her eyes. She sends it to Jackie Salir, who can't stay in field.
Yeah, Jackie Salir, who affected the charge down, looked like she actually stopped the ball with her face. Lining it up. Yeah, just hitting the side of her face, and so struggling to see, not able to keep herself in field. Yeah, but she's a champion.
In line,
There's Yaka
front
Siliep.
player, please.
Going to take a lot to get her out of a game.
Remember,
But
we spoke about it, we said
the Springbok women will almost feel that they need to try and
Number
get some
six.
points on the board before the end of this first half, get momentum back on their side, put the Canadians under
Number-
pressure, keep it within reach. That's what we said last week, was to keep it within reach. 14 points definitely within reach for the Springbok women.
Gillian Bogue, one of the 2 try scorers for the Canadian women, feeds the line out. The Springbok women looking to marshal them towards the touchline, illegally so.
Obstruction, but 7 entry. 7 entry.
Side entry against the Springbok women, and this is what we said happened last week. They were just allowing far too many penalties in the right areas on the field for them, and that's just giving Canada an easy exit. Another one this time.
Numbers, please.
3 years at the Leicester Tigers, the number 7 for the Springbok woman, Kathy Jacobs. Bogue feeds. Taken in by Courtney O'Donnell in a 45th cap for Canada. The rolling ball set again by the North American side, who play it blind now to Norston. Norston. Oh, she is dangerous. Brought down eventually. But the momentum continues for the Canadian woman. Jacobs confronting O'Donnell in the tackle. Slow ball for once for Peltier, who fires it inside. Wonderful delayed ball, creating some space for Peckin to earn further meters, just chewing off the meters here. Carry by carry, the Canadian woman, and finally they send one false, and Mpupa puts her head down, pins her ears back, and cannot get toe to the ball to grab her through. Great chase from Claire Gallagher.
Oh, well, she saw green grass at home in front of her. Zinhle Mpupa realized she didn't have the jet boots to get there under pressure. Picked up the loose ball, read it like a book. Zinhle Mpupa.
We're contesting now.
Nobody next to her, no support, being chased down by Justine Pelletier, and then opting to go for the boot. Drops it, doesn't get the drop. Oh, and that would be so heartbreaking. Had Ayanda Malinga coming up on the inside. Nadine Roos was there to support as well, and look at that. Sways the brain. Picture speaks 1,000 words, don't they?
Yeah, the oxygen snatched out of his chest.
Crouch. Fight. Sit.
Well, the volume building here in Gqeberha, in this wonderful stadium, and the people have come out to support the Springbok women. They're struggling to get points on the board right now. Norston can't get past Nadine Roos, and she lets her know about it.
Yeah, 1v1 versus Nadine Roos is always going to be a difficult task. She's going to make a hit. And that's what she affords at scrum off too. She's off the mark really, really quickly. She can turn and burn. They've met each other on the 7th circuit, this time on a 15th field. And Nadine Roos getting the just reward for that.
4 men, 4.
Another successful feed to Danielle Lochner. But the error comes immediately, a scrum feed to the Canadian woman. Now the scoreline looking better for the Springbok woman. The performance, though, dusty.
Yeah, and it just looks like the concentration starting to drop from the Springbok women at the moment. They've had to do all the defending in the beginning when this first half, and when they need to be able to just turn up the screws, tighten the screws, stay focused through the full 40. Unfortunately, it just looks like the wheels are starting to come off. Only have to manage it out for the next 40 seconds. And resets at halftime.
Crouch. Fight. Sit. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Strong effort at scrum time from the Canadian woman this time around. after Springbok women dominance last weekend.
So tight. Oftentimes what you do is you got to rock and lock, so you go, you set really low, and instead of trying to make it contestable, you rather take the hits and lock and stay there and stay as low as possible and hope that either the loose hit or the tight hit forces a penalty. But it's because the Springbok women are continuously looking to try and get the angle, beat the Canadians and try and turn a defensive scrum into an attacking one. Hence why you see the scrum just shifting off of its original mark.
Sit. Hold it up.
Another chance to feed the scrum for Justine Peltier. What a scrum from the Canadian woman, but it's a penalty to the green and gold. Or is it? Looks like it's a penalty to... Well, no. It's a penalty to South Africa.
Set green, second left. Green. 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 Green.
Yeah, well,
Green, Lucy.
arm changed twice for referee Precious Pisani. Initially went for the Springbok women, then against, and then for, and then against.
She's got me second-guessing myself today for the scrum and for the previous try. And it's going to be a line out to Canada. Not keen to end the half on that note.
Now also, it looks like she's just blowing the Springbok women for coming on the angle, not going straight over the mark. Got to hit straight and drive straight and just trying to force the angle of the Springbok women.
Another scoring chance for Canada. They feed it to Pamphlet Buisa. The sack legal from the Springbok women, and Canada will have to attack ball in hand. They have been dangerous with that. Carissa Norton feeds it away. Unable to handle that one, the Canadian woman. And that will bring an end to the half here in Gqeberha. Precious Pisani waves off the first 40 minutes, which have vacillated between enthralling and something that will force you to ask questions of the quality of both of these sides. Canada, having made 11 changes, will have more excuses for that, while the Springbok women will be looking for far better come the second 40 minutes here. All the same, they are within touching distance, just 14 points between the sides, and not allowing the Canadian women to run away with the result as they did at Loftus Versfeld 7 days ago. These two sides building towards that Rugby World Cup in England in just over 40 days' time now. At half-time, it's Canada that lead 14 points to 0. 40 minutes down here in Gqeberha between the Springbok women and the women of Canada, ranked second in the world as these two sides prepare for the Rugby World Cup, which is coming in August. And it's the Canadian women who are on the front foot early on, recycling the ball oh so quickly and looking dangerous at all times, especially in their back line, with the Springbok women struggling to keep up in defense and many desperate tackle attempts on the outside, keeping the scoreline as is. But crashing over eventually was their number one, Brittany Castle, for her first ever try in 46 caps for Canada.
Yeah, and the Springbok women just not able to find their width on defense, and it was the hold ball, it was the getting on the outside of the shoulders, trying to set up the phases, the quick ball at the bottom of the phases, and then it was all about the ruck watching, wondering what's going to happen on the outside instead of looking inside, and Brittany Castle getting over. This one was a dicey one, not really sure whether or not she had scored this try. But the pick up and go, keeping it tight, making the Springbok women work, and Gillian Bogue getting it going short initially, but then brought back and called on the line. You see the Springbok women celebrating, thinking that they'd scored that one. But it was all about getting a piece of that leather ball onto that white line. Match stats, 2 tries scored by the Canadians, handling errors against the South Africans. Going to be something that they're worried about. The penalties that they've conceded, the 8 penalties versus the 6th. And then it was all about the possession and the territory. The Springbok women finding themselves in the right areas of the field for a lot of the time, but not able to convert that into points. So that would be the big discussion at a half-time from the Springbok women. How much are they going to be able to get right with ball in hand?
And they've been spreading the ball from left to right, getting the ball to the wings quite regularly, the Canadian women. But these Springbok fans are flooding into the stadium to watch the following 40 minutes of this match, followed by the Springboks taking on Italy. The build-up starts at 4 p.m., the kickoff just after 5, in the second of 2 twists between the two proud nations. And it is going to be a fascinating one. The Springboks making a number of changes, looking to improve on the performance. A dominant victory all the same at Loftus Versfeld here in Gqeberha, which hasn't seen a match between the Springboks and any nation since 2021. 30 years of Supersport, 30 years of gold for the Springboks, and 30 years of broadcasting here on your World of Champions. What a journey it has been. What glories we have seen, including glory for the cricket team of South Africa recently as well. It has certainly all happened, and long may it last, and long it shall continue. The fans in green and gold here to enjoy some rugby action here today, and looking forward to some action in the second 40 minutes in which the Springbok women may become competitive. But there is your Springbok Dream Team. Make sure to vote. Each and every week there will be a new vote to take on each position over the 30 years of Springbok victory since that first World Cup win in 1995 to this day, when we have now won 4. So many quality players to choose from. Make sure to get involved. Fans young and old here in Gqeberha here today, they love the rugby in the Eastern Cape, and here is the latest. You need to choose who is your favorite tight head prop for the Springbok Dream Team. Frans Malherbe, dead center there, 2-time World Cup winner. Number of quality options there. CJ van der Linde, what a player he was. Kobus Visagie, utterly dominant at scrum time. Yanni du Plessis, not just a Springbok prop, but a doctor as well. And BJ Botha. Frans Malherbe might just have the front row seat there with 2 World Cups to his name, but I'll leave it up to you. Make sure to get involved and place your vote. So, 40 minutes to come here in the Springbok women's match against the Canadian women. Let's see what is to come in the second half here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Two sides looking to galvanize as they head towards the Rugby World Cup of 2025, the Springbok women and the women of Canada. They'll have two more preparatory matches after this, the Springbok women taking on the Black Ferns, while the next matchup for the Canadian women is against the USA in that North American clash. The Canadian women in Pool B of the Rugby World Cup will face Fiji, Wales and Scotland, while the Springbok women in Pool D will be taking on France, Italy and Brazil. Leila, in your opinion, how are the preparations going thus far?
Yeah, well, for the Springbok women specifically, it's going to be about trying to find the combinations that work, that starting 15, the strongest 15 that they could potentially field in the starting, and then the rest on the bench. What is that starting and the strongest 23 that they're able to create? That is something we're only going to find out as soon as these matches are done. And we're going to be able to see how much they have been able to galvanize each other and galvanize the side coming into the 22nd of August. Today, though, the Springbok women have kept themselves in touch versus what they did last week. Scoreline looking awfully different last week to this week, and so Springbok women will be hoping that they're able to convert all of the opportunities they are creating for themselves in the second half and turn it to points. We saw them score all their points in the second half last week. Can they do it this week? Well, only time will tell.
A number of options in that 9-10 combination for the Springbok women, but keep in mind, of course, coming after this, starting at 5:10 p.m. the kickoff, but at 4 p.m. we start the build-up, and there'll be plenty to see from here in Gqeberha. Remember that Willie le Roux is earning his 100th Springbok cap here today. But there is your two-time World Cup winning captain, Siya Kolisi. He's in the house, of course. He hails from not too far away from the stadium in Zwede here in Gqeberha. And there are some of the signs from the Springbok fans. Always got a couple of jokes up their sleeve. And some Springbok women's fans in the house here today. Aseza Hele hasn't really featured much, and the Springbok women could afford to use their power game to draw in those Canadian defenders here, because they've been struggling to spread the ball to the wings.
Gain line momentum is going to be key for them in the second half, and getting over that gain line, making sure that they're able to get front foot ball. That's what they're going to need. We saw Eloise Webb under so much pressure in that first half. So how is she going to be able to change what she does, give herself more time and allow the ball to get into those wider channels?
Unam Tose on the bench today for the Springbok women, an option at number 9. Nadine Roos is playing number 9 today. Taylor Kinsey, the most capped number 9 for the Springbok women. Libby Janssen van Rensburg can play at 10. So it'll be interesting to see which way Swayze de Bruin does go in the end with all those options he has to unleash the Springbok women's backline, which has so struggled to fire against the Canadian women today and last weekend.
Depth in attack is going to be key for the Springbok women. Give themselves more time, find the gaps in the field, because when you've got 15 versus 13 you can't score. That's where the problem lies.
Madison Grant gets us back underway in at number 12, replacing Alex Tessier, who was pulling the strings at Loftus Versfeld last weekend, along with Florence Simons, who's waiting on the bench for the Canadian woman. Another player on the bench for the Canadian woman, Sophie de Goody, back after 13 months out with injury. She'll be itching to get involved in the play today. But it's the Springbok women who start out with ball in hand. Here is Sanele Siwe-Charlie, who came into this match with a prominent shiner, but all the same is fronting up for her nation. Lochner, and now Nadine Roos. That slow ball, which has been such a feature of the Springbok women's game today. Taken in by Shell. Shell initiates the counter-attack. Buisa was juggling, and she paid the price as Hele came across field with a dominant hit. Hele. Isolated, the Canadian woman hunting it on the ground. Unable to secure the turnover that time. Here's Cindy Boy, captain of a nation, the most capped captain of her nation, the most capped player in Springbok women's history. Roos looking to our Zimbabwean referee for assistance, but the turnover's good. The Canadian women have done it again.
Yeah, turnover good, just as advantage was called over. Olivia Demarchand spent some time in the yellow, in the naughty chair in the first half with that yellow card. This time getting over, stealing ball back for the Canadian women. And The Springbok women who didn't have much ball in hand, not able to convert, but that not hitting the line either.
Well, the ball in her hands right now is Yaki Salia. Brought down just outside the Springbok women's 22. Eloise Webb has a player at depth this time, and it's Birandre Dolf. Sent it downfield, off the side of her right boot, and she chases her own kick. Shell changing direction well, looking for the touchline herself. Bounces infield and safely out into touch.
And so just playing the territorial game at the moment. Canada just keeping the Springbok women pinned in their own half, realizing that they're always under pressure and realizing they can get into the faces and force the mistakes from the Springbok women. So happy to just kick ball into touch and keep it pinned down there.
Mika Gunter, captain of the provincial side, to local glory in this year's Women's Premier Division. The Bulls Daisies, who have so many players that feature in the Springbok women's squad.
Yeah, it just looks like the Lochner getting treatment on her nose. Got some blood on
Yeah.
her hands at the moment, and you don't want to lose someone like the Lochner. She's the line-out caller, line-out jumper. She's got the safest hands on the park, I feel.
No, don't check.
Definitely not the way you want to start the second half too, coming straight out of the tunnel, straight out of the changing room, and an immediate injury to the Springbok women.
She says she was kicked in the face, they'll definitely come back to you. So Timo says it was just a rugby accident, okay? It was just a rugby accident.
The Springbok fans are in the house here at Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Gqeberha, and they are getting excited for what is to come later on this afternoon.
Go out and get
very few available beds anywhere in the city. It's been a wonderful thing for the tourism here in Gqeberha and the Eastern Cape.
Ladies, water off.
Absolutely love their rugby, and they need to see more days like this.
Don't you wish you were sitting in the sun at the moment, Paul Stubbs?
Ha
Aren't you in the cold in the shade? It's cold in the shade. Wouldn't be mind baking a little bit there in the sun with the Springbok fans. They're always happy to be out and watch the men in the green and gold, and this time the women in the green and gold.
Stop.
Cindy Boy taking it this time at the line out. Nadine Roos, that was not timed well, just charging through. But the infringement came from the Canadian woman, and Nadine Roos wants to go with the tap and go, and she can be so dangerous in broken play. Cindy Boy wrapped up in the tackle. Cleared away by Balwa Lacha. Organisation in attack has been lacking for the Springbok women today. They need some more of that kind of personal responsibility from Lacha there. And Pulpa on the charge, isolated. Uses her body well to present that ball back. Libianca van Rensburg, Nadine Roos looking to keep the tempo high. The offload to Asses Ahele. In the opposition 22 now. Roos goes on to snap. That's a high tackle. Positive start to the second half for the home team.
Advantage, captain, high tackle.
Yeah, and all the penalties that the Canadians are conceding are just allowing the Springbok women to march up the field and find themselves in a good position on the field. This time just slowing things down. They got where they needed to be through Nadine Roos and the tempo of play which she wants to play at, and now just looking to go back and set their structures.
Wow. Tap and go and not going for touch, the Springbok woman.
Tackle! Let her out! 13!
Very slow to get their bodies out of the way. The Canadian woman, slow ball for the Springbok woman, and Roos feeds it away. Hele looking to get her hands on that ball. But it's Roos able to clear to her captain, Cindy Boy. Right on the precipice now, the Springbok woman. They send it to Libianca van Rensburg. Malinga! The Slingers in the corner!
That's what they needed.
Thank you.
They needed to start the second half positively. Slinga Malinga. You can't keep her away from the try line, but it was about keeping it tight. It was about sucking in the defenders. Janse van Rensburg did brilliantly under pressure, releasing the ball straight into the hands of the try scorer.
They did check it out. Everything is good. It was a flat pass.
Finally, Malinga able to do her thing out on the wing. Great strike, but it's unsuccessful from Yaki Salir. It's 14 points to 5. Canada lead.
Yeah, and under so much pressure, Janse van Rensburg able to free her hands and get the ball out into the hands of Ayanda Malinga, who's not going to be stopped from there.
Number 1, green. Number 1.
Starting to get their way and get a foothold in the game now, the Springbok women, but they've still got a mountain to climb. Yunela Ngingolo making her way onto the park for Sanelesiwe Charlie, who came into the match battered and bruised, but soldiered on nonetheless.
Time back on.
Swayze the Brain is a merchant of togetherness, the Springbok women's coach, and he has really brought this team to a high level as they head towards the great challenge of the Rugby World Cup. And they've got their first points on the board here in Gqeberha.
Release.
Far more competitive this week than last, the Springbok women. They'll be eager to keep themselves in touch now, keep themselves in the game and seek out victory. Canadian women still have some quality to bring off of the bench, which could be the difference makers in this match. Let's see if the Springbok women can retain this positive trajectory here in the second 40 minutes. Dolph sends it long. Difficult to deal with, clever use of the boot, otherwise there could have been danger for the Canadian woman. It's going to be a line out to South Africa.
Yeah. Time off for green. Substitution for green.
Yeah, Snazum Trachua as well as Nomsa Mokwai making their way onto the park for the Springbok women. Snazum Trachua, she's got an engine on her, she can work. And she'll work until the very end.
Gunter feed stolen away by Canada. Brilliant work. Peltier gets it away to Gallagher, and the Canadian women are straight onto the front foot. They love to strike out wide, spreading the ball to the wing whenever they can. This time the mistake comes. Springbok women will get a feed to the scrum.
And they just create more numbers all the time, do the Canadian women, sending players off of the shoulder and to create an extra defender. And they've just got such a good understanding of who runs where and at what time in terms of timing. That time the ball just doesn't sit in hands, but slowly making their way into the stadium now, the Springbok fans for that match coming up. Hoping to catch the last little bit of the Springbok women's game too. Full open sign to work with for the Springbok women. Eloise Webb, Libby Janse van Rensburg, Ayanda Malinga lining up right between the two of them.
Sit! Keep it up, don't squeeze that elbow, please.
Getting some dominance at scrum time there, the Springbok women now. Eloise Webb looking for options, has to take it to the line again. The back line for the Springbok women has not been firing yet here today. Malinga scoring in the corner, the only sign of life thus far. Birandre Dolph has had so much to do herself on defense and attack. Roos sends it away to Mkachulwa, one of those recent replacements for the Springbok women. Great hands from Klingolo. Roos away to Webb. Now she fires to a player running from depth, and oh, good strong tackle on the outside on Zinhle Mpupa. Chrissy Scurfield, who has had some tough defensive work to do today. Klingolo caught behind the game line, compromising the forward momentum of the Springbok women, which is further compromised there by the knock-on. It's going to be a scrum feed to Canada.
Sizopila Salonse did the right thing there, running off for the ball and trying to get some momentum on the ball, because every single pass that has gone to hand has been so stagnant, hence why the Springbok women are being caught behind the gain line at the moment. The high press of the Canadians getting into the faces, and they're not running onto the ball and not allowing them to get over the gain line. That time just mistiming it. Sizopila Salonse leaving the ball behind. You said it earlier on, Paul, that was the first scrum we saw that the Springbok women had started getting some dominance on. Opting not to keep it in that time.
again. Let's hold that weight, yeah? Keep it stable, yeah? Keep it stable. Huh? Yeah, yeah, come closer, come closer. Let's go again, let's go again, let's go again.
After attacking with freedom in the first half,
You can take a step again.
Canada have enjoyed just 14% of the possession in the opening 10 minutes of the second.
Crouch! 5! Sit! Keep it up!
Peltier feeds. The Canadian backline will look to fire again. Always standing at depth. Great shape about them, and they've always got a plan. Shell cut through, and the offload is intercepted by Dole. Heads up play from the number 15 for South Africa. Malinga fills in at halfback. Eloise Webb, a flat back line there for the Springbok women. Numbers to the outside, but they cannot exploit it because they have no depth and momentum onto the ball. Eloise Webb turns to the boot, and her opposite number, Gallagher, fields. Responds in kind. And Livianta van Rensburg, not keen to employ the prolific boot which she has. And the Springbok women start from their own 22. Gachula, chopped down. Ringolo. Been energetic since coming onto the field. One of those many Bulls daisies in the South African team. Here's Roos. Fires back to Webb under pressure now. Dolph sees a kick charge down. Webb scrambles back. Pressure on from the Canadian woman in the form of Buisa. Wow. From bad to worse there.
To the try box.
Yeah, and we're going to sound like a broken record at Stubbs. It's because of the depth that the Springbok women aren't finding at the moment.
9 and 6 white.
Putting everyone under pressure. Eloise Webb
So it's just down into the try box.
unable
So you put it in. Yeah.
to get it there. So
No, it's okay, it's okay.
it's going to be
Even if she
Canadian
makes it,
ball.
then it's you guys who put it in.
And there, Olivia Apps. Olivia Apps was taken off at the park last week at Loftus. Looked like she had an ankle injury, but making her way back. So a couple of new faces, fresh legs onto the park for the Canadian women.
I have touchdown, and then she picks it up in the try box. White touchdown in the try box, but it's
Just a conversation between referee Precious Pisani as well as Amy Barratron. They just want to make sure
yeah, that's okay. There's a pair
who
down
they're
as
gonna,
well.
or what rule they're gonna employ. Just checking who was the last one to touch the ball. Definitely was Eloise Webb. Did she put the ball down or did she kick it out? That's the question.
Two World Cup referees in conversation.
So we have that.
Yeah, so this is the charge down. And then Eloise Webb turns around. So the question is going to be whether or not she'd actually dotted it down or if she kicked it out. And it doesn't look like she dotted it down there. So it's been kicked dead.
The Springbok backline not doing many favours to Birandre Dolph.
Now it's just inside.
Structure the Canadian woman able to put
Taken back
pressure
by
on
White, it's
Buisa,
inside.
putting pressure on both kickers.
Let's go, let's go.
And you've got to wonder why
Goal
they
line,
haven't
drop out.
actually slotted
Try line.
Janse van Rensburg into that first receiver position, because she's got the boot and she'll be the one to be able to relieve the pressure. Instead, Eloise Webb's playing it out to Birandre Dolph, who is able to kick but isn't the strongest kicker in the side. You've also got someone like Yaki Salia who's got a monster boot on her, who can kick a ball downfield. You've got to pull her closer into the action, get Janse van Rensburg closer into the action, because at the moment they're hovering out into the back line where they should be the ones that's controlling. It's a new position for Eloise Webb. She's usually out into the centres and finding herself under pressure.
And Livianta van Rensburg with the goal line clearance goes as far as Julia Schell, and the mistake comes from the Canadian woman this time. Sweet relief for South Africa. Olivia Apps rushing back to get in position. Nobody was at home at the back for Canada for just a moment. Roar spots the half grab. What a tackle that is from Madison Grant. Reaching out and clutching the rapid number 9 for the Springbok woman. Janse van Rensburg grubbers one through Norston. Bravely takes that one. What a play. In fact, it's the number 10, Claire Gallagher, who sends it long, and Roos is getting back here. She's on her own. It's all on the bounce here. Roos has to go to ground to collect it. Gallagher puts pressure on, and Canada tackle the Springbok woman on their own 5-meter line. Olivia Apps dominantly cleared from that ruck. Babal Walacha will crash it up into the Canadian women's defense and win a few meters for the Springbok woman, giving a chance to set up the exit. Eloise Webb in position behind the ruck. This time she takes the responsibility of the kick. And that's a territorial win for the Canadian woman.
And it just shows the systems that the Canadian women have in place when they need to put the loose ball under pressure, who they've got there. Claire Gallagher's happy to turn and burn and put it back on the pressure, but then they've got 3 chase line defenders coming in and putting the South African women under pressure. Scramble defense. And then the big territorial gain. Babalo Alacha, she's
Do you think she'll be able to continue?
Since minute 1:53 minutes. Just getting a good stretch on the calf.
I mean, it says so much about the Springbok women's game that Babal Walacha was the first professional women's player in South Africa in 2020. So just 5 years ago, she signed her first contract in Spain at Malaga, I believe. She went on to play for the Harlequins.
Let's sort it out so we can play on.
Right now she's unattached, and her services will be desired all over this country, that's for sure. Just over 2 hours until the Springboks kick off against Liatsuri in their second of 2 test matches in the Castle Larger incoming series. And the people of Kadecha have been excited all week long for this one. The excitement around the team hotel, I can tell you, is absolutely fervent. Everybody looking to get a selfie or a signature.
Overwhelming, Paul Stubbs. It's overwhelming support for the Springbok men in that hotel.
Gillian Bogue to feed the line out. An attacking opportunity for the Canadian women, a rare one here in the second half. They have only 20% of the possession, but they have been dominating territorially. They keep that rolling more on its feet. Do they have control of it at the back? They most certainly do, and the Springbok women looking to reload now. Wonderful control from Gabrielle Senft. So impactful on the run is Senft. Offloads to Abs. There's a chance on the outside for Norston on debut. Delight for the youngster. The Canadian women extend their lead.
Yeah, and when the systems work, you can see the result thereof. Carissa Norsted, her first international try in the Canadian jersey. Too many numbers sucked in at the maul, trying to stop the maul, realizing the threat that the Canadian women have. And then it's the quick hands. Olivia Abs, Carissa Norston, the understanding from the sevens field, coming onto the 15s, stays on her feet, tackle not made, not held, and able to add the extras for Carissa Norston. What a moment, what a time for her.
What a player. HSBC Sevens Rookie of the Year, Carissa Norston, translating those skills onto the 15s field, and here is the 15 for the Maple Leaves. Shell gets a good strike, but it drifts wide, just the 5 points. It's a 14-point game. Canada lead 19-5. The Springbok women still have hope.
Too many numbers sucked in, creating the numbers overlap. Yaki Silia had to make the tackle on the inside. The catch-up defender not able to make a hit. Sizopila Solonsi. Kata Jacobs, the last defender, already over the try line, and Carissa Norsted.
Just over 20% of possession, but about 80+% of territory for the Canadian women in the second half. Which is now 15 minutes old. Sent along by Jante van Rensburg. Yet again, the Canadian women allowing the kickoff to bounce. Great evasive work at first from Skurfield before being swallowed up by Solonsi. Abs, captain of the seven side for Canada's women, onto the field at halfback. Strong leadership group for the second-ranked team in the world.
Not you, not you.
Kick goes long from Grant and taken in by Dolph. Birandre Dolph, who always loves to run and is so deceptive with that footwork. Quick ball for Roos. Jante van Rensburg on a good line. The offload to Mkachulwa, now creating some space on the outside. Kawe onto the field in the 23. Jante van Rensburg has only one option running from deep, and that's Dolph, and you already see how much danger that can pose when you have a deceptive runner like that running from deep. And again, Jante van Rensburg unable to spread that ball.
No.
Because Hele just drifted in front of it. And the on-rushing Canadian defense cutting out the options as well. Roos running into the same problem. She finds Janse van Rensburg, and the pass inside wins possibly a half meter or so for the Springbok women, who are struggling to make progress. Lacha powering into Pekin.
Sorry.
Roos gets away. Now the offload to Janse van Rensburg. That is not the way that she planned it. Solonsi is chasing back, but she hasn't got enough pace. Malinga's going to have to get on this. The Canadian women are powering through. And the hack through goes into touch, fortunately so, for the Springbok women, who were running out of numbers.
Absolutely. Springbok women's looking to create something, and the positivity around the fact that they're able to get onto the right areas of the field, but they're just not able to convert it. Janse van Rensburg is now slotted into that 10 position. You can kind of see this fluidity that's happening. Look to get the pass away and just slipping out of her hands. She's got a pass on her both sides, Janse van Rensburg. She could have made the pass into the wing. She knows that she'll be thinking about that a couple more times today. And the Springbok women find themselves back inside their own 22. How did they get there?
Gunther Mkachulwa back to Nadine Roos. And here is Solonsi. Two powerful runners in the loose trio today, the Springbok women in Solonsi and Hele. Looks like they have a player down on the blind side there to the Springbok women.
Use it.
Roos takes her time, sends one high. Malinga's going to get after this one. Creating danger immediately. Not a tactic that the Springbok women have used as yet today.
Came off white.
Right.
Yes.
Nadine Roos obviously not
Time off.
first choice 9 usually,
green.
so other skills that she's going to have to start employing. The box kick, looking for spaces up behind. Obviously the likes of Unan Tose, Taylor Kinsey, that's the way their mind thinks. They've got chasers there. Lerato Makua replacing Aseza Hele. Definitely not the same in stature, but she can move, Lerato Makua.
Trick play there from the Springbok woman, firing to the non-jumping player at the 2-ball. Oh yeah, Jacobs almost cut through there. Again, another desperation tackle from the Canadian woman, just halting that Springbok woman's attack. Roos having a far bigger impact here in the second half with that dangerous running of hers in the tight spaces and the endless engine which she has as well. Poopa, a strong handoff. Here's Dolph. The dancing feet of Dolph.
Leave it white.
Roos has her arm dragged in. Shoshana Sayumanutafa breaks away in a high tackle against the Springbok women.
Yeah, well, I think Nadine Roos feels so heavily done by. Definitely within that 1 meter area, played around at ruck time, but rather deemed that she knocked the ball on at the bottom of that breakdown. And then they get the penalty too, so again marching the Springbok women back into their own 22. Shoshana Sayumanutafa caught by Yaki Celia just around the neck. That's where the penalty came from. High tackle. Desperation in the defense from Yaki Celia.
It's okay.
Territorial dominance continues from Canada in the second half, and they take it at that line out somehow, some way. Olivia Apps waits for the ball to be presented. There it is, and feeds away to Courtney O'Donnell. Good strong defense from the Springbok women. Norston fires back inside to Gallagher, who's been utterly brilliant in the number 10 jersey. Gallagher, under all circumstances. Sophie de Goody is onto the field for Canada, back after 13 months of injury. And what a player she is, the regular captain of this Canadian side. A welcome return. Sayumanutafa gets away from the first defender. Now there's a chance on the outside. Shell cuts back in. Slow ball at ruck time for Epps. She gets it away and finds Bogue. It's been knocked on by Canada. The Springbok women's defense holds strong. Still 14 points between the sides. Ended 50-20 at Loftus Versfeld. So progress made.
Yeah, concentrations are going to have to be high for the Springbok women for the last 20 minutes. Canada is going to look to just continue to turn the screws, keep them pinned back inside their own 22, inside their own half for the Springbok women. Fronting up defensively this time, the Springbok women forcing that knock-on.
Yeah, let's go, ladies. Come in,
They're
come
going
in.
to be hoping that they can get some ascendancy
My
at
mark here,
scrum.
my
We've
mark,
not
come,
seen
come.
one scrum
to the mark,
penalty
ladies.
be awarded for the Springbok women. It's not every day you're able to get out of a match and not have a scrum penalty awarded against you. Hopefully some of the fresh legs that have come onto the park will
Crouch.
aid in getting them on the right side of the field.
Fine. Sit. Keep it stable. Keep it stable.
Stability achieved. Well, illegal again from the Canadian woman, but
Walking around.
there will be some long, hard chats about scrum time here today for the Springbok side.
Yeah, absolutely. Eventually getting just reward for that scrum, but it's been few and far between for the Springbok women.
Touch found, really struggling to play outside of their own half here in the second half, the Springbok women.
Oh, thank you.
Getting the hit early on. Ngolo, and then just scrumming in at that angle. Not on the same page there, the front row of the Canadians.
Gunter feeds to Lerato Makua. Kawe. Always powering forward on the carry. Kawe, the inside ball to Yaki Salir. She's sliced them wide open, and she's all on her own. She's got it all to do. She's been hunted down, but she's in the red zone with the Canadian woman. Can the Springbok woman consolidate this position? Tlachulwa out the dog. Dog's going to go for the corner.
Yeah, well, when the plan comes together and you've got the danger of Yaki Salir, that's exactly what the Springbok women can do.
Off the head. Okay, thank you.
Springbok women line
Yep.
out, and this is exactly
Line
the
out to
type
green.
of field position they want. Got to get momentum back.
It all starts with a good feed. Gunter hits the target. The Springbok women set that maul in. Can they get it rolling? Gunter waits patiently. The feet are moving from the Springbok women, but they've hit a brick wall now. Ruas waiting to clear
Use
the
it.
ball. Kawe, at first receiver, puts her head down and charges into the contact.
Tackle.
So hard to tackle her backwards. Ruas now waiting for some support from the ladies who can charge up in those channels close to the rack. Lacha first among them. Around their corner they come.
Step.
Tlachulwa now. Meters after the tackle for a replacement for the Springbok women. The back line waiting, but they're marked up out there. Nadine Ruas sends it to Jante van Rensburg. Zintle Mpupa, the tough task on her hands, goes to ground. Recycles, Jante van Rensburg. Mika Gunter gets it away. Mokwai brought down, and the penalty is going to go against the Springbok women.
Oh, that's frustration.
So I thought they would beat you the...
Got them to the right
breakdown.
side of the field through the brilliant run by Yaki Salir. Again, that gain line meterage just going against the Springbok women, just not able to make post-contact
Time off.
meters. Got a brilliant steal at the bottom of that breakdown against Nomsa Mokwai. Look at this. This is a planned move on the inside. Puts her hands up. No obstruction
able to
there.
continue?
Yaki Salir 1v1, not able to get around the likes of Chrissy Skerfield. Behandre Dolph trying to keep ball on the inside. That's where the line out came
Let's
from.
go. Let's go. Water off. Water off. Yeah.
And then turnover for the Canadian women. Under
Penalty
pressure.
here against you guys.
Composure
Penalty, we've got a
needed from the
penalty
number
against
2
you.
side.
Yeah.
Composure they have.
Time
And they've
back on.
saved a try.
The Springbok women's coaching staff were understandably eager to have that ruled a deliberate knock-on from the debutante. No such luck, and in the end they
green,
failed to
11,
capitalize
3
on
and
this
2.
field position.
Time off.
Yeah, Olivia
Green,
Apps just
11,
coming
3
in to
and
making
2.
that steal, but over hasty. Mika Gunter
Green, you're here. Green, you're here.
coming in, clearing up, and clearing
White, you
Olivia
here.
Apps from
White, you here.
the side, and that's what the penalty actually was against.
green. Just wait, hold. Still time is off.
On the field for the Springbok women, Azisa Mkiva and Lucelle
Time back
Hanekom.
on.
Bogue feeds the line out, another failed one from the Canadian woman, and picked up at the back by Solonsi, who loves to run. Kawe. Similarly, so what a dominant hit that is. Brilliant tackle from Madison Grant. Immediately cutting out the momentum of the Springbok women, giving a chance for the Canadian defense to get back in position. And when they are in position, they've been hard to beat. Ross on the outside, eventually brought down. What a chance this is for the green and gold yet again. Players offside, surely Carissa Norton there. Ross gets it away. Into contact, couldn't get the hands free, could Mokwai. Quick ball needed. Unam Torse knocks it on. Another chance goes a-begging for the Springbok women.
And another one that the Springbok women will feel hard done by. 100% Canadian players all offside. Not being called that time. And
Time off, number 15 white.
all just being caught at the bottom of the ruck. Ruck time's a difficult place to try and collect the ball
Walking
from.
around.
A lot of limbs.
Yeah. Just try to press.
Last week's player of the match, Flo Simons, making her way onto the park, and
time back on.
it just doesn't get any easier for the Springbok women. Quality all round for Canada, but they're going to need to find a way. They're going to need something, the Springbok women, inject it into the scrum.
Five. 6.
Olivia Apps feeds the Canadian scrum. It quickly fires out the back, and a desperate clearance will give the Springbok woman another chance. With plenty of time yet to get back into this game, and 14 points between the sides.
Yeah.
Incremental gains is what Swayze the Brain and the Springbok women have been looking for.
Numbers, green.
And incremental gains have been
Numbers,
made
green.
from Loftus-Versfeld to
Numbers,
today.
don't close the gap. Tell them numbers, please.
They have some players missing, some quality players as well. As do Canada, with 11 changes since Loftus-Versfeld. Gachulwa takes it at line-out time. Torse fires it to Jante van Rensburg, and Pulpa charging towards the line. It lost some space to run into
Leave it white.
for the outside centre. Canadian women called away. Torse gets it clear, and Gachulwa. Plenty of tackle fight. And the knock-on comes from Lucelle Hanekom.
Knock on.
And this is the difference between the Springbok women and the Canadians. Look at that. We got a track of
Come in, ladies. Let's go.
all the
Let's
fans
go,
making
let's
their
go.
way into the Nelson
Matja,
Mandela
come.
Bay Stadium.
Come in.
Starting to see more feet, more numbers making their way. Speak about the difference between the number 2 side and the number 12 side here today. The composure is the complete difference. Under pressure, when they have opportunities outside the 22, they're able to convert it into points, and the Springbok women just fumbling all the opportunities that they've created for themselves.
Sit. Keep it stable.
Apps feeds the scrum. The Springbok women wheeling but not making forward progress. And a long clearance comes from Madison Grant. Proficient boots all over the field for the Canadian woman, and Nadine Roos, tired of firing possession back to the Canadian woman, will take them on now. Woman has achieved so much in the game of sevens for the green and gold. Libby Jante van Rensburg doing well to field her charge down kick and stay on her feet long enough to have some support from Yaki Seville. Unam Torse under pressure from a good clearance from the Canadian woman. Oh my goodness, that will be frustrating. Obstruction penalty.
Over here.
Yeah, well, we speak about the pressure and the composure, and that's just the clear signs of the pressure that the Canadians are putting on the Springbok women, and the Springbok women just showing absolutely no composure. Someone's got to speak up, someone's got to be the leader and just get everyone back on side. Lerato Makua overrunning the line from Snazom Kachua, that's what caused the obstruction. Courtney O'Donnell, the player being obstructed from Canada at the moment, and this just grants him another opportunity.
Now this would be a bitter pill to swallow for the Springbok women if they are to concede after all this dominance. But a penalty
Obstruction.
goes against Canada.
First was a sack, then obstruction. She was in front of the ball carrier.
Yeah, well, that is going to go against captain of the day, Tyson Bukabu, breaking away, causing obstruction, and that didn't go out into touch, but it's definitely going to be a knock-on. And Michelle Hanekom, the only one awake to it.
The Canadian woman doing well not to touch the ball. It would have turned into a penalty against them. Tlachulwa, who's certainly injected some energy off the bench today. So to fight for every meter she's earned. Olivia Apps tracking back to get in position. The kick is going to land in the arms of Yaki Salir.
Yeah, just not able to get the ball into her hands enough today. You look at the pure way that the Canadian women have been able to spread the ball to the wings. They've been able to do that 14 times versus only the 8 of the Springbok women. The wings are where the danger lies for the Springbok women. Yaki Salir, one of those dangerous players, trying to jump her way out of contact, finding a way into touch.
Another line out goes awry for the Canadian woman. Unam Torse capitalizes on that. Kawe dragged down by Sayumanu Tapa. Torse away to Tlachulwa. That rush defense of Canada cutting out the options out wide as it has all afternoon long. They have one player down to Canada, and it's their number 10 Gallagher, dragging herself back to her feet right now, but she really looks to be limping on that right ankle. The kick taken in well, and a desperation kick back downfield relieves the pressure for Madison Grant. Hooper has not got a good connection on that. It's straight into touch. Well, we saw some white buses previously, but those are the forever green, forever gold buses of the Springboks making their way into the stadium now in Gqeberha as we count down to kick off for the Springboks versus the Atsuri. And what a match it promises to be. Changes galore for players vying for the attention of their coach Rassie Erasmus as the Men's World Cup, of course, draws closer in a couple of years' time. The Women's World Cup is going on in just over 40 days' time, so not much time for the Springbok women and the Canadian women to make sure that their coach has their name down on the team sheet when that time comes. The rolling maul of Canada keeping its shape again, and the Springbok women suffering under that pressure, now driving themselves into the 22. Breaking away at the perfect time, the debutante, Taylor McKnight. Dragged to ground. Libby Janssen van Rensburg all the way. Courtney O'Donnell dropping bodies. Olivia Apps away to her captain, Bukaboom. Apps. And the regular captain, De Goody, the first receiver. Here's Norston. With those 7 skills on display, looked like a knock-on from the hand of a Springbok woman, and indeed it was a deliberate one.
Yeah, that call's going against Yaki Salir.
14, deliberate knock.
Oh, well, thought it was just a knock-on in the tackle, but referee Precious Bazani thinking differently of that, and you can just see the disappointment in the face of Yaki Salir.
We hit. Come in, ladies, come in.
Yaki Salir.
What off, medic, please!
Punished by Precious Pazani, our Zimbabwean referee today, and the all-African refereeing side. The Canadian women have a chance to strike. The feed comes from Taylor McKnight. Good contest from the Springbok woman, but no good. And the Canadian woman's rolling ball is rolling home. A try for Canada to the captain, Tyson Bukaboom.
Yeah, well, she's been doing all the hard work throughout the entire day. Tyson Bukaboom making the tackles, defensively doing what she needs to do. But the structure of the Canadian women just outclassing the Springbok women, and when the rolling ball sets and works well, it is a pretty picture to behold. Tight around, not enough defenders, and the Springbok women suffer under the hand of Tyson Bukaboom.
knockout blow from Tyson. Boom. Madison Grant on the kicking duties now, and it's over. They've got a vast array of skills, the Canadian women, and that's why they're number 2 in the world.
Yeah, it was a single call. It was an early set, and the drive came, and the Springbok women splintering under the pressure of the Canadian women, and Tyson Bookaboo all day, every day.
Left to right.
Three converted tries between the teams now. A valiant effort from the Springbok women. But they all know they could have done so much better with the chances they had. That one just about bouncing in field. How many times have Canada allowed the ball to bounce off the restart?
Yeah, just not
On
getting
the line.
the best of strikes on that one, Libby van Rensburg.
Come in.
Luckily
Canada,
for her,
come
though,
in.
bouncing just inside. So,
On the line, please.
line up Canada
On the line.
with a number advantage after the yellow card to Yaki Silia.
4-man, green, 4-man. Yeah.
Youngster McKnight feeds the line out. Another errant one for the Canadian women, who will have plenty to talk about themselves come the conclusion of this one and heading into their next warm-up matches, which are now short in number. But next up, they'll be facing the USA. Unam Tose with the tap and go. Can the Springbok woman find something here? Lingolo with a good strong run. Tose clears. No numbers out to the left here for the Springbok woman. Achulwa cuts in field. Gets to the gain line. Lingolo. What an introduction she has been to the field for the green and gold. But another error comes, and with less than 4 to play, it's a scrum Canada.
Yeah, well, that's the 14th handling error for the Springbok women, and all those handling errors happening in the right side of the field, being their own worst enemy this week in the same way that they were last week.
My mark.
Canada with all of the possession in this game, 2 high handling error rates, so it's been quite stop-start throughout this entire day, taking the momentum and taking the energy out of the game. But for the Springbok women, they'll be ruining where those handling errors happened.
Crouch. Five. Sit.
Olivia Apps, just 26 years old and already having achieved so much in the game, especially so in sevens, feeds the scrum, and she's fed by regular captain Sophie de Goody. And Canada still keen to run. Schofield gets away. Schofield's got a lot of space to work with here. Roos on the cover, but Schofield is going to score a scorcher of a try. Canada caving in the Springbok. For fans in green and gold who are in the stands. For fans in green and gold who are in the stands to support the Springbok women, and of course the men coming up later, making some noise. For those in green and gold here today, Nadine Roos really looked to get her fingerprints on this match in the second half. Keeps charging at the Canadian defensive line. And this time the error comes from one of the superstars of South African women's rugby, Nadine Roos.
Yeah, well, it's just going to be stop-start momentum.
Yeah, it should be
no
right.
momentum, rather, for the Springbok women in this game, and cannot believe that
Yeah, 2 times.
hold that they had in that first half for the Springbok women. It all looked so positive, and then it just started to unravel slowly and give Canada.
Sit. Keep it stable. Keep it up. Ball is to the back. Use it. Green.
Springbok women penalised at scrum time. The Canadian women have the options now with the hooter having sounded in the background. Choosing whether or not to continue the match. They choose to call it a day, and the final whistle is blown by our Zimbabwean referee Precious Pazani, and the Springbok women have had their holes in their game exposed by the Canadian women, the number 2 side in the world. With 11 changes to their starting 15 from the match in Tshwane, they go marching on in their preparation for what they hope will be a victorious Rugby World Cup campaign, and not just a successful one in terms of progress. They plan to lift the trophy at the end of the World Cup, which is coming in just over 40 days. And they've shown that they have options in their ranks in terms of kicking, in terms of scrumming, in terms of spreading the ball wide or keeping it tight. The rolling maul from the line-out looking good. The debutant on the wing looking fantastic as well. They have glorious, glorious players within their ranks. As for the Springbok women,